One of it's good.
Here's the folder.
Please be seated while we're waiting for this. Thank you.
It was this one.
Hello there, fellow Rotarians. Today's song is Rotary, We Care. Are you ready? Here we go. Someone needs a helping hand. We care. We care. Could be home or foreign land. We care. We care. Rotary here and everywhere. We work hard and we play fair. We are Rotary through and through, and we love good things to do. We are Rotary, me and you, and we care. Come on, someone needs a helping hand. We care. We can be home or foreign land. We care. We care. Rotary here and everywhere. We work hard and play fair. We are Rotary through and we love things to do. We are Rotary and we care.
All right. That always puts a smile on my face. Now I would like to invite Gary Harrington to come up here and inspire us.
Hello everyone, and I want to wish you, Nancy and I want to wish you a happy new year. And speaking of New Year's, I'm going to talk about making New Year's resolutions. Okay, first of all, I found one that I thought was pretty good. It was from 36avenue.com, and it says this year, the resolution is break bad habits,
John Sensible.
or break a bad
Steve
habit,
Thompson.
learn a new skill,
Jeff
do a
Bing.
good deed, visit a new place,
Jeff Bing, Julia.
read a difficult book,
Dick Stafford.
write and send a letter, try a new food, and take a risk. Okay, that sounds pretty good to me. But now I want to go over the pros and cons of New Year resolutions. And I'll have 4 inspiring quotes. Okay, the first pro is self-awareness. Holiday gatherings have us recapping and voluntarily reflecting on our year in conversations with family and friends. It represents a perspective of what we've accomplished and can give us the drive to set specific goals to work toward and be proud of throughout the year. Now, pro number 2, a fresh start. For some of us, it's hard not to equate the new year with a new beginning. It can be easy to create and bullet point personal goals. There's something liberating and refreshing that comes with the idea of starting a clean slate. Okay, there's 2 cons. Deadlines foster procrastination. It can be easy to put off getting serious about your resolutions with such a long lead time. Setting goals takes planning and follow through, while a year deadline leaves tons of room for postponing things until tomorrow or next week. Point number 2, self-doubt. Sometimes we set ourselves up for failure without thinking about and taking the proper steps to achieve a big goal. This can lead to self-doubt and difficult if the goal isn't reached. At the end of the day, you are in control of how you live your life. If you set goals, don't feel like you have to wait in order to get serious about them because of the date on the calendar. And that means that you don't have to just make it for the New Year's resolution, you can make it any time during the year. Now, here are some of the things I think that you need to situation. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And then we go along with planning your goals. A dream written down with a date becomes a goal. A goal broken down into steps becomes a plan. A plan backed by action becomes reality. And this is by C.S. Lewis. You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. So always be planning on something new. Okay. Here's one. It's by funscape.com. Cheers to the New Year's and another chance for us to get it right. Shakespeare. The best is yet to come. And finally, I want to share the Dalai Lama's quote. There are only 2 days in the year that nothing can be done. One is called yesterday, and the other is called tomorrow. Today is the right day to love, believe, do, and live. Thank you.
Is it a success if I only break one bad habit?
No, but do one at a time.
Good job, Gary. Thank you, Gary. Happy New Year. It's great. You know, everybody sets resolutions, or many people set resolutions at the beginning of the new year. And a challenge that I'd like to throw to you, my fellow Rotarians, is to bring one person this year. We have another 30-something meetings that we're going to be meeting for lunch. Plus, we're going to have our third Thirsty Thursdays and what other service projects that we're going to be doing in our community and such. Bring somebody. Who do you know that likes to do good and have fun? Don't try to recruit them to be a Rotarian to come here. Just invite them to come see what we're all about. And I think that may enhance our membership. I'd like to introduce those that are attending on Zoom. Do we have any Zoom?
We do. And if one of you gentlemen would take yourselves off mute, or all of you, and say hello in some kind of orderly sequence, that would be great.
John, are you really there?
Yeah, John, I'm really here, and that picture is better than the way I look right now. I'm not feeling all that well, but Happy New Year, everybody.
I won't ask what you're wearing, John. Okay.
Hi, Dick Stafford here. Again, Happy New Year to everybody. Looking forward to a good Rotary year. Looking forward to a good year in total.
This is Julio, wishing everybody Happy New Year and a healthy year as well.
I'm Jeff Bing, and Happy New Year, everybody.
Good to see you, Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
Happy New Year.
That's
Hi,
it.
this is Steve McCoy Thompson. Great to see you all, even virtually. I'd love to be there, but with my interaction with schools and students, I just have to be real careful. So anyway, great to see you all. Happy New Year.
Good to see you, Steve.
All right, well, thank you. And now I'd like to introduce our visiting Rotarians that are in the room with us. Gina.
Thank you, President Bill. I'm proud to have with me my youngest son. His name is Adam.
We knew his voice was your son the way you spoke to him.
Yeah. Adam is, he lives in Alabama. He just graduated from the University of Alabama in December. So he's here spending some time trying to sort out what the next step is going to be. I'm glad to have you with us today.
We have a man that doesn't need introduction, but Jim's going to do it anyway.
Greatly appreciate one whenever I can get one.
Okay.
Bob Chuck Rock from the Dublin Club, electrical engineer.
Bye-bye. any other guests in the room? All right, we will move along to our I video. It's called Be the Inspiration. I make this guy work pretty hard. He's jumping around, clicking on different things all the time. Thank you. We're going to have 3 board announcements. Steve Van Dorn is the president of Trustees Foundation.
Hi, I'm Andrew.
Andrew is our community service chair, and Brad Hurst is our club fund chair. And they each have an announcement.
Thank you, President Bill. Happy New Year, everybody. Just want quickly, I want to make sure everybody knows that our community grant application process is open. And I have a few of my board of trustees here who raise your hand. We've got Marjorie, we've got John, Nancy there as well. So anyway, so just want to make sure you spread the word that we are accepting applications. We have $25,000 to give out to worthy causes. And I did send a press release to the Weekly and Independent today, so hopefully they'll get it in their paper. So we'll get lots of opportunities. And the deadline is 5 p.m. on January 31st. So check it out. It's on our website. Mark Tanis right here. He was amazing getting all set up. So thanks, Mark. Next, Steve number 2.
No, I'm Steve number 1. We're building to a crescendo. Want to talk about the community service project that we have scheduled for next Saturday, January 15th with Goodness Village. We're going to help them paint 3 murals throughout their community. It's basically going to be like a coloring book, paint by number. The artist is going to draw black lines all over the 3 walls, and we get to put the color in the right area. So I think each of us is well qualified to do that. We've been working on this since we were probably 2 or 3 years old. This is an opportunity to use those skills again.
Do we need to bring any ladders, paintbrushes, or anything like that?
That was what I was going to talk about next. I'm working with Kim to make sure we have enough supplies in terms of paintbrushes and rollers. If people have ladders, they can bring those. That would help. We'll probably provide lunch. We'll get probably Panera box lunches brought in and have waters for people. We want to try to make it COVID safe. We'll be outside doing the painting. These are all exterior walls. We'll need to wear masks. There's a couple of people in the village that have gotten COVID, but they're in isolation at this point, so they won't be walking around while we're there. So we're going to try to make this as safe as possible. We've got 14 people who've already volunteered to participate. We'd like to get 30. So if more people are interested, please let me know and I'll put you on the list, and I'll probably send out another club announcement tomorrow. And then as we get closer to the date, I'll send more specific information to keep people updated. But this should be a fun interesting project and will create some lasting art in their village. It should be really nice.
Steve, I'm the only guy you know who got a D in 7th grade art. It's a new year, and for Thursday, we're going to go to a new place, a sports bar in Pleasanton named Draft, which has only been open a couple of months. It's on the corner of Stone Ridge and Chabot. Has a street address of Hop Yard. It's in the shopping center where Chili's. For those of you like Bill Wheeler, it was where Shaboom's. No, don't tell me that because I saw you there. I saw you there.
That means you were there.
Wasn't it just Mavericks before that?
It is Mavericks. It's Draft in Mavericks.
Oh, okay.
I'm glad you brought that up. For those who want to stay after 7 o'clock, they have a cornhole tournament every Thursday evening. So any who are great cornhole players, they'll be doing that. So the owner is very excited to have us coming. He's a good friend of Steve Van Doren's. It's Draft and Mavericks. It's at the corner of Stone Ridge and Chabot. See you there. Thursday, January 20th. Thank you, Brad. Any other board announcements?
How about a great Christmas party by Brad?
Woo! Let's go, Brad. You did all the work.
So since we're talking about the Christmas party, you know, each month we award the Rotarian of the Month award, and I decided that I was going to go to Brad for leading us in a wonderful Christmas party. So thank you. I don't have the pen in front of me, so I'll give it to you next week. I was going to do that next week. Nice segue. Art Candace, would you mind coming up here and introducing our feature presentation?
Thank you, President Bill, and Happy New Year, everyone. I get the pleasure of introducing our featured speaker today. Her name is Theresa Wallace, and I've known Theresa for many years as the co-owner of Wallace Architects Group here in Pleasanton. And she also, I'm not sure how she has time, but she has another business, Owens Landscaping. So, and that's not enough. She's also very active with the Uganda Village Project. And she's going to talk to us today about her role and a little bit more in that project and the specific emphasis on malaria. So with that, please give a hand to Theresa Wallace.
Thank you very much, and I do appreciate Clark who gave me the invitation to come out and talk about my cause. My cause is the Uganda Village Project, and
Did you hold the microphone up, please?
I'm not used to talking to the microphone.
That's old dead people talk.
So I'm here to support my daughter Carrie and her partner Jeff, that in their mission for global public health. And I've come to believe that being a global citizen is a tremendous help to humanity. I think we need to be more global citizens as we move forward into the next decade. As a mother and a recent grandmother, I'm very excited about it. I've just come to find that I want to do more, and to do more to the people that have anything close to what we have here in this country. My project, my passion, my cause is the Uganda Village Project, and it's we talk to you about what we do and how we do it, and I'm going to be asking for some help funding one of our health projects, which is what we present to our rural communities, and that would be malaria. And in the presentation, I'll talk a little bit more about what we're doing and how malaria affects this group of people. So, Uganda Village Project, it's in Africa, so come on, let's go to Africa.
You have the power button on? Make sure.
I can do it manually if we don't.
I don't know why, but it was working a moment ago. Just say next and I'll hit the next slide for you.
Okay, next. Next, okay. So for rural families in Uganda, our projects bring the difference between a community surviving or thriving. And we're pretty passionate about what we're doing. I understand you have a grant program that's open. I will be applying for it. So hopefully this will motivate you to include us in your grant proposals. Next.
Trying to fix this.
Sorry.
That's okay.
We have a lot of health challenges in Uganda, as in many parts of Africa. In Uganda, the majority of illnesses and death are caused by malaria, your HIV, your respiratory infections, and many of the vaccinated preventable diseases. The health system lacks a lot of the resources. I'm sorry. The health system does lack the workforce, medical supplies, and in the rural communities, little access to health services. They do have a national health system, but oftentimes it's unaffordable, it's too far away, and it's understaffed, and there's no medical supplies. Uganda has the unique distinction of being one of the highest death rates from malaria in Africa. The third highest. 33% of the children in Uganda do not have clean, safe water. 1.4 million adults and children are living with HIV, and many of the sexually active people in these communities do not have family planning. We do have an opportunity to change lives. Bringing health services directly to communities does remove the barriers for good health care. We provide education, and those services help to prevent the spread of diseases and illness. Preventing those diseases and illnesses reduces medical bills, and that helps to stabilize a family's income. Freedom from debt will allow them to grow their wealth and invest in their children and their community. We want to end the cycle of poverty. Most people in these communities are rural farmers. So they need their children, they need them to be educated, to be healthy, to help them to grow their wealth and to pull them out of poverty. So who are we? We are a nonprofit, and we were formed in 2003 to promote public health in the Uganda area. Our mission is to facilitate community health, and then we envision a future that's going to create an environment that is healthy and that they can maintain themselves. Our approach to what we do. We have healthy village programs that are innovative, they're grassroots. We're designed with WHO, the World Health Organization. And we address the rural healthcare and public health. We operate programs in 10 to 12 villages with a 3-year cycle. So we have communities that are onboarding and offboarding as they graduate. What we're trying to do is to get these communities to be self-reliant so that then they can replicate all across Uganda. There are many roads, all dirt for the most part. So getting in and out, getting health care, it is an issue. How we make a difference is that we are partnering with the villages on an ongoing basis. ongoing conversations, talking, giving them information so that they trust us and that they learn those tools to help themselves. We also work directly with the NGOs and the district government and the volunteers in the community, the health volunteers in the community. We are an international board from out of 5 countries, 12 members, and then we have 8 paid staff in Uganda that are locals. And they help us to facilitate the projects and the help that we're looking to provide to the communities. These will be our programs and the impacts. Our Healthy Village programs include the HIV, water, sanitation, malaria, reproductive services, and obstetric fistula. Okay. This might be a little easier. So we currently have a budget. Our past budget has been in the range of about $40,000. Every year, we have done a wonderful job of providing services to these communities. We have, in our HIV, we have over 32,000 HIV tests performed with community outreach and education. Our water sanitation, we have done 86 wells, and I understand you also are doing some well work in Nigeria in some of the projects. We've done latrines, hand washing stations, trash bins. So that has really made a difference in having clean water available. One of the things about clean water is that when they don't have clean water, the women typically have to travel many miles to get clean water, and that does expose them to injury, violence, and many other terrible things. Reproductive health, we have done an incredible amount of family planning to help adolescents and men in the community to understand reproductive health. We also have done almost 9,900 obstetric fistula surgeries, which is pretty incredible because women without the surgery are completely ostracized, and it's a tremendous hardship. So we're pretty proud of that. And we've done a tremendous amount of education to get people to understand what it means when they have a fistula. Malaria is what I wanted to focus on. We do have a malaria program, and we are currently working with WHO to become a distributor for the new malaria vaccination vaccine. So we're pretty excited about that. Malaria is, I don't know if anybody, if people know, malaria is transmitted by a female mosquito who bites, and it grows in the liver. Symptoms: fever, nausea, chills, all things you don't want to have. If left untreated, it will cause seizures and death. Repeated infections in children that can and will cause up to 60% loss in cognitive abilities, which is awful. If you as a family community are counting on your children to lead the next generation. Malaria in Uganda is one of the highest rates transmitted in the world in Uganda. 60% of those occurrences are in children. That's terrible. We need to eradicate this disease. Malaria can be eradicated, and it is kind of a passion for the village is to get this under control. We will do the insecticide bednets, and we have the anti-malaria medication. We also have preventative medication for women who are pregnant. Also, one bout of the malaria can decrease a family's income by 3%. So that is a hard money to lose when you're trying to bring yourself out of poverty. We do purchase the netting and then sell at a cost or donate them to these individual communities. We do have to go out and measure the beds so that we get a correct fit with the nets. Typically, we try to get at least one net per family. What happens with one net per family is that the men and the boys sleep under the nets. So our goal is to get everybody under the nets because everybody counts. We also will do large community events where we bring the community in, we do all the testing. Typically, 50% of the people we test are positive, so we do have the medication to treat them. And we do try to create the supply chain so that people can get their own nets, locally. As we move forward, we're trying to develop those supply chain. We also can do house-to-house orientations and training. Some people may feel they don't want to be out in the community, so we can go house-to-house or small community to small communities to do prevention and testing. So contributions to our program is very impactful. For every dollar that is given, you can do 10 to 100 times what we normally do here with a dollar. So money goes a lot further in Africa. Our program, which is what we have that we are looking to have funded, is $8,700 to fund our malaria program. And what that will do is we'll work with 5 villages, disperse nets. We pay stipends to our health assistants and any volunteer health providers. We do data collection and evaluation. We're always looking to evaluate and get the data to make sure the programs that we have are doing what we want them to do and that they are being effective. Without that information, kind of a ship without a rudder. So we really look to find out what is working in these communities and what's not working. The impact would be that we can distribute over 100 beds, nettings for the beds, which I think is awesome. The testing, probably tested about 4,500 community members, and then treat the 50% that is positive. We also then do community presentations, education for the treatment and prevention of malaria. And in closing, I would hope that we can fund this program. It's important. I think we have the ability to eradicate malaria. And I really am hopeful that we can bring this program to fruition in Uganda. I'll open it up to questions, and I guess one of the questions I typically get is, well, why Africa? And I think I would say that we here, we want to drink water. We turn on the plastic, not water, clean, healthy water. In Uganda, we either have to build a well or we have to walk. We have the infrastructure and we don't have infrastructure there. And it's just something that we feel passionate about, try, basic health services. And so with that, I'll open it up to any questions. Yes, sir.
Comment, Rotary International has been initiative. You might want to investigate.
Well, that would be wonderful. As I become more involved in this, I'm always open to have somebody else that would be interested, different communities. We do have some partnerships with big corporations. We have partnered with the Rotary in Baltimore. They did a water project with us And so that's great to know. Anybody and everybody, you know, would love to have some corporate financing. I know some corporations have large giving programs where they'll match. So, you know, we're just looking for funds. Yes.
What's the cost of the well and how many of you guys put in?
We have put in 86 wells. So we felt pretty passionate about bringing the water to the communities because they are, that it makes a huge difference for them to have the local water. The cost of wells is about $7,000 to $8,000 to drill wells.
Another question. You mentioned that it's basically an agricultural community.
Yes.
Is it subsistence farming?
They don't export. What they do is they cultivate their land.
So how do they find an opportunity to grow their economy?
Well, for now it is, it's just because you've got to pull everybody out of poverty. You've got to get them healthy. I'm sure there are other areas in Uganda that do export, but mostly we're, you know, in huts, dirt roads, you know, we're just trying to sustain a level. Okay.
The villages that you work with, how many have they gone through that 3-year program and then
That's a really good question. I don't know the exact number, but I do know that we've done at least 50 villages in over the course of the years. And so our goal is to continue to replicate that, having self-sustaining, and then we'd like to expand what we do into other parts of Africa eventually.
So once that well is installed, are they educated on how to maintain it?
Yes.
Because that could be a
Yes.
problem if they don't have the parts to maintain that well.
Yes, yes. And that is, we do have, you know, one of our programs, the water, sanitation and hygiene, we do have, you know, that unit where they do go in, they do the wells. Typically they'll do the latrines, the wells. They try to do all of that in each village.
I have a question like that. I'm well, basically, and it's global infrastructure, supply chain. Is that synergistic or is it competing with the supply chain?
That's a good question. I think, you know, everybody is feeling the crunch with the COVID. You know, in rural Africa, it's not, you know, they just don't get the amount of people that we have here. The transmission is, you know, the rural areas is not as high as it is in the cities and other higher populated areas. That is a good question though.
Regarding malaria,
Mhm.
trying to prevent it,
Mhm.
are there any efforts to eliminate standing water?
Yes, yes. And I was actually, when I was thinking about the Malaria project, I wonder if they, and this is something I can find out. You know, I know that when I put, I have a big water storage in my property, and I put a small amount of chlorine in my water to keep the larvae from growing in the standing water. So yes, we do educate them, because that is a part of, you know, malaria treatment education is, you know, standing water is important. But, you know, they have troughs with animals, and, you know, sometimes that's not realistic to try to get all of those standing water. But yes, we do educate them about that. Yes. We've been there long enough to trust us, to know us, we have local people on the ground. And so it's as communities become more successful, then the next community hears about it. Oh yeah, you know, so it is spreading. And so, yes, they will take as much help as we can give them. And because if one community can pull another community and it compounds itself. So we're pretty excited, we've got a ways to go, done a lot, but got a ways to go. But it is, as you do more work in the area, more people are, we're pulling more people in and trying to replicate. Yes, yes, yes. In all of the communities, we don't come in and ram on all of our, what we're doing, but we do have, the staff, the local staff, medical people that are local, that know the language, that know the people. And so that's where we've been pretty successful, because we do have paid staff in Uganda, working with us to keep these programs going. We do pay them $250 a month, which is in Uganda is considered a rather good salary. So it's really important, and they're all motivated. They see, they know. So they're all very motivated. But one step forward, 2 steps back, because maybe you've got no kids that have malaria, and boom, someone gets it. So we're always trying to really pull them up and move forward.
This is one of the 7 areas of Rotary as far as sanitation and health. Have you thought of contacting local attorneys of the communities around there to see? Because a lot of times they've done some previous work and that's some.
Yeah. That is a good question. I will pursue that and find out if in fact we have contacted and are working with people on the ground there. But
if you'd like to get involved with our WASH program, I'm sure like to become a member.
Wow, there you go.
No. Well, we're doing the nets. We're going in, getting all the nets on the beds. We're educating them about how
That's one of the most uninspiring.
malaria is transmitted.
And she's just reading stuff.
What you can do to protect yourself.
So if they stop the transmission, that'll help eliminate the.
Yeah. Oh, if we can stop transmission of malaria, and that would be wonderful. I mean, that would be great to be able to get them.
Be life changing, be a world impact.
Eradicate malaria. I mean, that would be, the world would be in a better place if we can eradicate. Right? Because it is malaria, you see that in other people countries. And, that is a barrier to having them get out of harm. So, well, all of these things are, they're all important to do. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Theresa. Every time that we have a person from a nonprofit that presents, our board has approved that we donate $100 to their foundation. So here you go. So now we need 8,600 more. Dennis, Claire, are you ready to? Yes, sir. Audrey is the Vanna White here.
We have $25, and here's the.
Last 3 digits, 017.
All
right.
Of course. How often do you draw?
You can't win if you don't buy a ticket.
Only one. You're more only one.
A loser.
One more.
Okay, our second.
Last 3 digits, 024. How old I'll be on my next birthday?
All right. Thank you, everybody. Rolls over to next week.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, look at that, like 11 minutes early. I'm gonna give you 11 minutes of your life for that. Thank you for attending today and have a great rest of your week.